Hi everyone. I found another great excerpt from the One Simple Change Makes Life Easy book, and it's in the chapter of afflictive states. So, in the beginning, for most people, it's easier to momentarily rest as open intelligence when positive or neutral points of view or data, we call them data, everything that we can feel, think, experience. So, when positive or neutral data appear, and more difficult to rest when negative data arise and are present. As we practice resting with positive and neutral data, our ability to rest increases. And so we gain confidence in open intelligence when we rest in times or situations or with data that are easier to rest as. So, for example, when we're out in nature, nothing's going on, and we can take a short moment and gain familiarity with open intelligence. And what is open intelligence? It's what's looking right now. It's naturally present. When you stop thinking for a moment, what remains? Clarity, the natural presence, the ease of being. And obviously, we cannot stop thinking for long. You probably already had a thought. And those thoughts are inseparable from open intelligence. Whatever that thought was and whatever you're feeling right now is the dynamic energy of open intelligence and nothing else. So it doesn't pose any threat. It's the energy of open intelligence, inseparable. And just by continuing taking short moments and listening and hearing about open intelligence, or reading a book like this, One Simple Change, or hearing talks like these, open intelligence naturally becomes more and more obvious because it's our natural state. And what is already so becomes naturally more and more obvious. We just have focused so strongly on the descriptions of our thoughts and emotions that it has gone unrecognized. So, and especially when the negative states arise, we don't want it, and yet continues. When negative states arise, it can be very difficult at first to enjoy the ease of being because everything in us is screaming, no, no, this can't possibly be open intelligence. It might even seem impossible to rest as, and to rest with these difficult states like panic, anger, or hatred, confusion, jealousy. These are very intense states and feelings, emotions. But that doesn't mean it is impossible. We've just trained ourselves to believe that these emotions are a threat and that we have to fight them or flee. And but in resting as open intelligence, we can understand the non-threatening nature of afflictive emotions. And by repeatedly resting as open intelligence for short moments, repeated many times, we support ourselves in maintaining open intelligence, even when afflictive states appear. And so with more and more confidence, it'll get easier and easier to rest naturally in our natural ease of being, while also difficult emotions arise and we don't need to run away anymore. You don't need to try to avoid them or replace them with better ones or try to ignore it, which only works sometimes and then it pops up again. So we want to gain familiarity with something about us that it is stable, open, and naturally at ease while life goes on, and we'll always have all kinds of thoughts and emotions, sometimes good ones and sometimes not so good ones and challenging ones. And so gaining confidence in open intelligence is something that we can totally rely on, no matter if we have ups and downs in life. Great. So it doesn't mean that it's always easy, but it is a simple practice to recognize a stability and confidence in something about us that we can always rely on. So thank you, and test it out, and see you for the next video.